Yeah. Happy Friday. Jump on in, y'all. Jump on in. Welcome, welcome. What you say, what you say, happy Friday. What you saying, happy Friday. Call it Friday, I want it my way. We gonna do what we gonna do, that's what you say. Yeah, you get it, twisted son, ain't down for the fun, down for the knowledge, down for the scholarship, what? We get it in 3, 2, 1, son. We getting it done. Bake you like the oven. Get it fried, get it baked, get it broiled even. Get some fries, get a plate, get some oil even. Get all your seasons in. Cause it's Cinco de Mayo. And the food's gotta be on point. Happy Cinco de Mayo! Happy Friday! It's Friday. What's going on, 2 Trill? How you doing? I know we're gonna get some other joiners in the building soon. And yo, I just did like a little stream, y'all, just now, and I just realized that it was unlisted. It was like private, cause I was doing a bunch of shit, and like I was like, oh shit, I gotta start it all over again. So here I am starting it all over again. And welcome, man. It's good to be back. It's good to be in the house. Gonna be lighting up this sage for a little bit, clear the area so that we can let the ancestors speak through me. We can not that I'm into that channeling stuff, but just making sure that what I say is truth, and to my best of ability of my knowledge, and let all the deceivers and all those deceptive energies flee this area. We don't want no lies. We don't want no cons, no deceptions, no Billy Carson type shit up here. What do you guys think of this Billy Carson guy, man? Is he a fraud or what? What do you guys think? Is he a fraud? Is he legit? Is he really helping anybody? I mean, for a man that projects himself outside of himself to speak to himself while speaking, he seems like a pretty complicated man. And no one understands him but his woman. All of a sudden, your phone's playing this by itself. Damn, that's some AI technology right there. As you can see, the video title of today is oh snap! I gotta edit this title. Thought it was already edited. The title of today is "Let the Light In," and subtext is gonna be healthy light bodies. Healthy light bodies. Now, what is a light body? I'm sure that most of y'all know what it is. It is also known as a Merkaba. A Merkaba. Now, Merkaba is from the Hebrew, I believe. I pulled up a definition. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace. Climb on in. Yeah, government intervention. That is also true. Okay, so I don't know if you could let me just share the screen, get it popping here. Scene number 2. We are going to do a window capture as, we're going to set it up as a Merkaba. Here we go. So, Merkaba symbol, sacred geometry, and all that good stuff. Usually it's the two intersecting triangles that you guys know of. Merkaba, also spelled Merkaba, comes from a Hebrew word meaning chariot or vehicle, and can also be defined as light spirit body. Now some people call it the moving light body, the traveling light body, because it does have the definitions of the chariot or vehicle, and that is usually the vehicle that we are seeing the ancestors on the wall depicted riding. It's not a physical chariot, it's not a physical boat that they're going over this firmament dome with. It is a spiritual vessel, if you will, a spiritual vessel. And here are some images of what a Merkaba is. Now, when I got introduced to Merkaba years ago, over a decade ago, once I heard that word, it unlocked something in me. It unlocked and I'm sure you guys have that kind of feeling too, where you hear a word that you don't know yet, but your soul does. Your soul signature knows the word, is familiar with it, and then you hear it in this life, and you're like, whoa, huh? That rang a bell. That reminded me of something. Now here's an interesting picture here depicting. It's a personal drawing of somebody drew it, and as you can see down here on the right, they have the astral as the outer higher plane, and then they have the mental underneath that, and then they got the physical. But I think that would be reverse. I think the physical, from physical, you go into your astral realms. You can astral project. You go into your dream states. These are all astral states. But your mentality is still governing these. The mind is all. And if the mind is all, then the mind should either be at the very center here, or it should be on the outer ring, or it shouldn't be a ring at all. This whole outside space should be mind, because somebody else could be a physicality over on the left, and then have a higher astral plane, and then an emotional plane, and etc., so on and so forth. So if I was to draw this, I would make all this white space here, all this empty space, I would make that mind. Or if we're talking about what's most central and what's most powerful, I would make the mind in the middle here. But that's neither here nor there. These are a bunch of different examples of Merkabas. Light bodies. What does that mean? That is like your aura. That is, in fact, it's not even your aura. Your aura is a result of the light body. It's almost like when you're looking at a car, when you look at a vehicle and you see it blinging, right? You see it shining. Imagine all the shines that you see. All those like little spots of like bling where the rims go by, it's like bling bling. Imagine that as the aura, okay? That is the part that is being reflected back. The light body is, that's all it is. The light body just is. It's not the light body is yellow, it's purple, the light body is blue, it's indigo. No, the light body is, and you can see it reflecting in our physical realm. So, moving on, light body. Light bodies is what we're talking about today. Can light bodies get sick? Can you heal your light body, or does your light body just heal you? What is doing which? What has a greater effect on which? Does your light body have a greater effect on your physical body? Does your physical body has an effect on your light body? You know, can you weaken your light body from bad thoughts? Or do bad thoughts stem from the light body and harm your physical body? Well, there's a lot to go into and a little bit of time to do it. So we're going to do this quick and concise, and I hope that we can get the point. Welcome, everybody. Peace. Happy Friday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. It's a lovely day, y'all. It's a lovely day. Let's get this jizzy rolled up, smoked up. What's going on, everybody in the house? What is good, y'all? Cash Brown, Mr. Zeno, 2 Trill, you've been rocking with me from the jump. Actually, I gotta get you a wrench, 2 Trill. Add you up. Balanced Truths. What is good? Okay, and I am gonna get Standard Truth. Balanced Truth. Balanced Truth. Moderator. 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 Alright, y'all. What's going on, y'all? Peace. Alright, so light bodies. Do they affect us? How can they affect us? Our light bodies is closer to source than our physical body is. Our light body, we're even using our light bodies when we dream, y'all. When we go into that dream state, that I don't want to call it the astral realm, because I do feel that they are different realms, both as real as the next. But I feel that they are separated somehow, and distinctly separated. Where in your dream state, things are kind of coming at you, happening to you. Subconscious values and fears or delights and pleasures and wants are making their way to your dream, speaking to you through your dream, trying to be realized, trying to be worked out, problems trying to be solved, and all that good stuff. Whereas the astral realm, I believe, is a realm of cause and effect, just like this realm, but only more etheric, meaning things can happen instantly. You know, you think of a flower and boom, you have a flower in your hand. You know, that kind of manifestation power. It's kind of like a dream, how suddenly you're on a roller coaster and suddenly you're in someone's house, but all these things are happening to you. You know what I mean? Like, you're just thrown around in a dream, unless you're having lucid dreams. But even if you are having lucid dreams, you are still interacting and dealing with things that don't really make sense. They make sense in the dream, but you wake up and you're like, yeah, I was talking to this person and suddenly they changed into that person, and I was in a house that I've never seen before, but it was my house, and there was this cat, and you know, we don't have cats, and I don't live with cats, but we had a cat, you know, that kind of thing. But the astral realm is kind of like, it's more like this realm, where things are in order, things make sense, and it's not just happening to you. You're still making decisions. But the Merkaba, the light body, exists in all of the realms, maybe except for the mental plane. And notice how in spiritual, no matter even if the person believes in a globe, Earth, notice how all these spiritual doctrines mention a plane. You know, the astral plane. You know, we can project ourselves off this planet into different galaxies, and there might be life on different planets, and we can astral project onto the astral plane and talk to these aliens. And these beings from the Pleiadian, they exist on the emotional plane. You know what I mean? They're always working in the word plane, which is crazy because this is a physical plane. This is a third density physical plane. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we use these words, and the people that believe it's a globe, they use these words, but they're not really understanding what they're alluding to. You know what I mean? So, the stream is healthy. Everything is good to go. So let me start sharing these. Let me start sharing the images. All right, here we go. So you got your light body here, and there are anchor points, if you will. These two pyramids intersecting. There are anchor points, kind of like this one here. And these anchor points are anchoring into different emotions, different layers of yourself, and different people, like the ancestors. Okay, these anchor points are helping us to keep in place, kind of like a hot air balloon will have like ropes tied down, or kind of like a boat will have an anchor in the water. So life is still flowing through, just like the ocean is still flowing past the boat or the ship, but it's anchored in, meaning it has a certain locality. It has a certain destination it has a certain resting point. It has a certain characteristic trait. It has a certain sound frequency that it's emitting. And these could be called your karma points and your dharma points. What you are creating, what you're doing, how you're making people feel, what you think, what you believe in, all strengthens or varies these anchors here that we see. You see, the anchors would be the circles at the points of the pyramids. Those circles, those energetic lines, these circles that are emanating out of the base of these pyramids, they are the anchors. That's the anchors that we're talking of. Now, look at this picture here. I think that you guys should be able to see it. Okay, this picture here on the right that I have blown up big with the blue background and the human, you can see it's chakra points, right? There's 6 chakra points in the body, and the 7th is on the outside of the body. There's 7 chakras. In here, in the pyramids, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 anchor points. The chakras that we see in our body, the rainbow, you have to understand that A, different cultures have different amount of chakras, and B, when we say there's 7 chakras and 1 is at the crown just outside the top of your head, this is emanating light. These are colors of light. So this is a part of the light body. This is the reflection or the remnants of the light body. But there are many more that exist on different planes, higher planes. And you can see these anchor points, these circles that are at the edge of the pyramids here. It's like everyone has them. Every image here has them. These different realms are different areas of study, of emotion, of thought and action. Sorry, y'all, I'm just hitting the joint before it goes out. All right. And these different anchor points here, these different circles coming off of the Merkaba, these are different actions that you did, different decisions that you made, emotionally, physically, musically, artistically. You know what I mean? There is a cause and effect for everything that happens, and those cause and effects keep this life moving. It keeps the third density going. It keeps life flowing forward. And we are co-creating together. And if you make a decision, if you hurt people, if it affects people's lives positively, these anchor points are going to almost be reinforced. These points will exist before the lines exist. Okay, these points, these anchor points of your light body, is going to actually define or help to define and shape who you are in your next life. The anchor points that you have now, the mistrust, the insecurity, the confidence, the outgoing attitude, all of these characteristics are locked in these corners, in these points, and they resonate outward, and they create the angles of your light. This is what these circles are like your chakra points. And when it's extended out through your body, you have different chakras dealing with different emotions, different aspects of your life. The root chakra, the sacral chakra, you have your heart chakra, you have your crown chakra, your throat chakra, all up and down your body. And different cultures say there's over 100 chakras, energy points, meridian lines. But these anchor points, these circles that of these intersecting lines at the edges of the pyramid, is what is going to shape you when you come back on your next journey. Now, where are we going with this? We are going to the fact that what you put in, you get out, right? What you put in a blender is going to affect the ingredients that you have your smoothie with, right? The type of shade, the type of light bulb that you put into your light fixture is the type of color you're going to get out of that light fixture. The type of water you put in a tank is the same type of water you're going to release from that tank. So what you put into your vessel is the same thing that you're going to get out. So if we can consume things, think things, digest and listen to things, because you can digest in more ways than just one, then we can change who we are, who we get out, what the world gets out of us, right? If we're putting in positive thoughts in our mind daily, then when we go to work, when we interact with family, what's going to come out is positivity. I've been working on this mantra saying, every day in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. Apparently, there was a French psychologist, I believe, don't quote me on that, but he studied his patients over an extended period of time, and he was playing with different mantras, different words to say in a mantra, and which mantra would evoke the most promising rewards, the fastest. So like if you say, I'm healthy today, I'm healthy today, I'm healthy today, and then he had another group of patients saying, I can do anything I believe, I can do anything I believe, and then another group saying, every day in every way I'm getting better and better. He noticed that the people saying that mantra, the last one that I just said, would actually level up quicker, would be happier quicker, resolve their issues quicker, be successful quicker, get over what it is they're going through quicker. He realized he cracked the code on the combination of words to say together to bring about the most positive change. And they say to say it to yourself 20 times before you start your day and 20 times before you go to bed. And I've been doing that, and I've been even saying it throughout the day. And but I'm only like a couple days in. But already, I mean, I'm feeling a more positive attitude. And the more positive your attitude is, the more positive your experiences are going to be. And you have to stay grateful. And if you strengthen these anchor points on your moving light body, then you will continue to experience better things and make better choices, especially physically, diet-wise, emotionally. But then this is also going to affect how we come back in our next life, right? You know, the way we treat our body now is going to affect these anchor points in our light body, our light soul body, our spirit light body, and it is going to come back around, because remember, the spirit, the soul holds on. The body lets go, but the soul will always remain. Like I said, the soul has a body. The body doesn't have a soul. You don't have a soul. The soul has a body in it. Okay? So you can think of it like two pieces of paper held up to a light. You can see through one paper. People even try to read the mail, like I'm doing right now. You know, you're trying to read the mail. And you hold it up to the light to see what's in the envelope. Have you ever done that? Have you ever like held a piece of mail just to see what was in it? Is it a check? What could this be? You know what I mean? What is this person getting? You know what I mean? And then you hold up another piece of paper to the light, and you can kind of read through it. You can kind of see what's inside of the envelope. But if you put both envelopes together, it's going to create a shade, and you can't see. You can't see through the light. You can't read what it says under there anymore because you're blocking it out. You're bringing two together. Well, imagine bringing over 2 billion beams of light together. And when it comes together, it creates a shade, a shadow, which is your body. Okay? We are shadows. We're walking shadows. And it creates an opaqueness. It creates a physicality, a density. Multiple beams of light. And remember, it's not just light, y'all. There's emotion in this light form, which carries weight. Have you ever said, oh yeah, I feel heavy-headed today, heavy-hearted today. Oh, there's a big weight on my shoulders. I feel like I have rocks on my shoulders. It feels like I'm carrying the world's weight on my shoulders. All of these emotional ways to describe yourself using a weight analogy. Because emotions carry a weight, a density, right? And when you're happy and you're grateful, you're light, light body, a light body, a not heavy body, not a heavy body, a light body. You see where I'm going with this? Having a light body. Why do you think the Gandhi fasted to bring about change? To bring about change, he lightened his body. He stopped eating food, and his body got light. They say that salads were invented by the serfs of the land, the indentured servants, the people, the coffers, the people that were living in poor areas, the poverty stricken. The people that just worked for the kingdom. There'd be the king, the royalty, the royal family. There'd be barons and lords and duches and duchesses, and all of these different titles given to people, sire, doctor. But everybody else, farming the land, having to make shoes, and in the old times, it was said that they are responsible for making the salad because they would be picking everything that they could out of their garden, harvesting everything that's ready with them and their neighbors, throwing it in a big bowl and mixing it up, tossing it up. And they said that salad was invented by the poor. Okay, so if salads were invented by the poor, and the poor were not heavy because they didn't have that king's food that made that king's disease. You know what I'm saying? You feel where I'm going with this? They didn't have that king's disease. The turkey and the beast and the roasted lamb and the overconsumption. These were the people that would get heavy, that would get fat. A king's diet. You're getting heavy, you're getting fat, you're getting heavy. You're creating shadows in your body. We're going to get to that. So the people that were healthy, skinny, eating off the land, eating off their backyard that they plowed, these people had lighter bodies. If they stepped on a scale, they had light bodies compared to the heavy bodies of the kings. Okay? So is it possible for what we consume, what we digest, to affect our soul signature, our light bodies, our spirit light bodies? Yes, it is. Okay? Because if we're grateful, we're feeling happy, we're feeling light. We're saying mantras of confidence to ourselves. I can do this. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. And you feel like there's less emotional weight on you when you're positive. When you're always looking at the glass half full. When you're managing stress well. When you're on vacation. You're light. You're feeling airy and light and loose. This is the best state of being to be in when you want to manifest, when you want to stay away from disease, etc., etc. So I want you guys to understand that a light body is us emanating light, but it is also emotional because emotions carry weight through the light. So getting back to what we were saying, if you have a billion light anchor points, kind of like this, y'all. Check out the mandala on the outer edges. It's like the star pattern, the tree of life. All these little anchor points coming from the outside are being sucked in to the inside vortex, right? All of these anchors for the light to beam out of it is being sucked to the magnetism in the center, and what's being reflected outward is the light body, okay? This is kind of like that ferrocell. Let me pull this up for you guys. It's like the ferrocell with the magnet. Ferrocell magnet field viewer. So in this photo, the light is coming from the outside of the, let me see here. Yes, it's coming from the outside of the ring, inward, not coming from the inside outward. Hold on, this right here. My computer is just slow today. So this is the ferrocell I'm talking about. Let me make sure that you guys can see it. Yep. Perfect. Now this is this. You see how on the outside, this outer ring, inside these lights are getting bent through the time and space, and the gravity, meaning the gravity, the going to the black hole, going into the magneticism, the bending, the arc, the arching, the arc, the Holy Grail, the arc, Noah's Ark. All of these arcing motions intersecting each other, like I told you with the two pieces of paper, the envelope, when you're trying to hold it up to the light, when they cross over, it creates a stronger point, but it also creates a shadow. It creates a heaviness, a density. It creates a bond, a anchor point. It creates a transition point, a point of reference. Okay? These are all points in time. Imagine this continuously expanding, and every action you take and every thought you think is now trapped in one of these nettings. Okay? And this is what they're talking about with the netters in Egypt. These are the netters going all around you. And these are the netters, the ones that are weaving the net of you, the weaving your body. These are the netters that are weaving, that are fishing out your body. If you imagine the fish that the net catches is like your emotions, your cells, your organs, your microbacteria, a whole bunch of moving parts. You know, the big fish net scoops up a bunch of fish, and it seems like the whole thing is gyrating and moving, but when you look up close, they're individual fish flopping around. But from far away, it looks like a big moving solid organism, but it's not solid because there's space in between it, right? So the net is catching who you are. Jesus was a fisherman. You are getting caught up. Here's one upward fish and a downward fish. An upward triangle and a downward triangle. The yin and the yang. The fish swimming up and the fish swimming down. I don't know if you guys remember, there's this movie called Finding Nemo, and Nemo's dad was like caught up in a net with Dora or Dory, and he told all the fish to swim down because they were just swimming everywhere. They were caught in the net. They were panicking, and he told them all to start swimming down, and the direction of the flow broke the net, and the fish were set free. You know, breaking out of this net. The light body, after you die, you escape, and instead of like those fish swimming downward, the fish will swim outward, out of the net. And that is when your energy is released. And you will get caught up in another vortex, another ferrocell. Your light will catch another Taurus, another tornado, and you will be living in with this. You'll bring the anchors of your past with you into your new life. So these nets that are coming around in this that are spiraling around in this picture here, that are creating this Merkaba, right? It's creating the light body. These are arcing in to the center, and you are also at the same time emanating something out. So again, what you put in, you will get out. If these lines that are bending behind the Merkaba, these bended lines in this tree of life pattern, if they start emanating blue and purple, then what's going to come out in this Merkaba is blue and purple. But that can change color. And it does. It is consistently changing color. And that's why when we look at our aura fields, it's like a rainbow dancing. Sometimes it's blue and oranges and greens and grays, browns. But what you think and what you're feeling and what you're putting into your light body through your mental and emotional is going to emanate outwards. And that's when you won't feel as heavy. And like those fish swimming down in Finding Nemo, now they'll be swimming upward and helping your path of life. If you are eating incorrectly, fried foods, a lot of starches, processed foods, your body will be moving against the flow of life. It'll be like the fish swimming downwards and finally break out of the net. That is an early death. That is your soul being too. It can't function anymore. Your body can't function for your soul anymore. So it has to move on to another one. And hopefully in that life you eat better, treat people better, are more positive, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of obesity right now, and sicknesses, like more adult sicknesses, like diabetes, that should only be found in unhealthy adults because of the years and years of poor dietary choices that could stem from emotional choices and could affect emotional response. Hopefully, in the next life, you will be more positive, or more positive earlier at a younger age. All of us watching this stream right now, or watching this show right now, we are probably positive thinkers, and we're probably the more positive people in our immediate circle. And that is strengthening these anchor points, these circles that are around the Merkaba, your aura body, your light body. And they're like anchor points, as an anchor to a ship. But as the water still flows, like these lines still flow in and out of you, affecting what goes in and what goes out, you are experiencing the flow of life as you are anchored into beliefs, anchored into certain emotions, anchored into certain experiences that you had. You know, if you fell off your bike, maybe, your motorcycle, maybe you're reluctant to ever ride again, or if you fell high from the ladders, maybe you'll be afraid of heights in your next life. If you died by a snake bite in your past life, possibly you'll be afraid of snakes, or maybe it's your mission to get over snakes. Maybe you're born into a family of snake handlers or breeders, so that you get over that fear of snakes, if that's what you had agreed to do in this life. But the point is that we are all existing from the light, and the light carries weight. The light carries weight, and what you put in to your body comes out in your light body, and what you put into your light body through mantras and meditation can come out in your physical body. That is why the mind can heal the body. That is why people can remote heal by thinking and praying on someone and having their energetic lines spreading out so far that it intersects with the person that they're thinking, intersects, sex with another person that you're thinking about. Because we are having not just physical sex with people, intercourse, but sometimes we have dialogue and intercourse with people remotely. And we don't even know it, but it's happening on a higher plane. When you're thinking about it mentally, it's affecting your physical life, the way that you interact with that person when you see them next. Because if you're thinking about hurting a person, it's going to affect, and you're thinking about it, just how you're going to do it. It's going to affect the next time you interact with that person. If you're thinking about someone and how much you miss that person, you're feeding that into your light body. It's going to come out in the physical when you see them next and you give them a big hug because you just miss them so much. But can our light bodies make us sick? Can we make our light bodies sick? I think we can. I think that we can directly affect our light bodies by what we have in our mind, in our heart, in our stomach. If we can digest music through what we listen to, then we can digest food. Then we can also digest what other people say to us, what other people think about us. That is why it's important to treat people good, because you can if you can remotely heal someone, then you can remotely make someone sick. You can pray or meditate on their downfall. And all of these lines of intersection, when someone's intersecting lines, like you can see beyond this Merkaba here, when their aura fields intersects with another aura field, like this here, then you're going to be intersecting with them, sex with them. You're going to be having an intercourse of an unhealthy intercourse. And just like you can get unhealthy intercourse like STDs, STIs, you can also get that mentally and emotionally by thinking about someone toxically, by preying on someone toxically. And your lines here can be going into someone else's field and distorting their color, their emanation, the direction. So, and if we can imagine that this is our light body, what we see from our light body, and you see all of these intersecting lines, you see how they get stronger and brighter as they overlap each other? Imagine an emotion, a belief overlapping each other, and it gets a characteristic, beauty, handsomeness, athleticism, intellectual, artistic capabilities, mistrust. All of these emotions, these heavy or light emotions, being stored in these strands of light, and when they intersect, you see how it gets brighter. Well, it also gets more dense, and it can get so dense that it can start bumping into other things. Sorry. Alright, so if you have billions of these intersecting lights coming together, you're going to get something that is solid, solid seeming, that you're going to call your body. That is why I say that humans don't have souls. Souls have humans. Your body doesn't have a soul. Your soul has a body. because as the density climbs, as these lights move through each other, the density rises and you get a physical ring of light. A seemingly physical ring of light, all because different light strands came together, but they can be heavy. They can hold a lot of heaviness on them. And those light strands can make your light body a heavy body. And your heavy body, your heavy light body, follow me now, your heavy light body can now make poor decisions, have self-esteem issues, have anger issues, or your body can be light. You can lighten up. Hey man, lighten up. Lighten up your light body so that you can make great decisions and be confident and have affirmations and, you know, be cheery when people come around and not make them feel bad, because those feelings, like Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. They'll never forget how you made them feel. And that is so true, because it's going to go on into your next life. If something really tragic happens in your past life, you're going to be a little bit more wary of it in this life because you've dealt with it, and that energy, that emotion is stored in your magnetic ley lines, in your frequency. Because remember, this is all just frequency. Heavy frequency, boom, boom. Light frequency. So your light body can have a weight. It is just emotional. It is an emotional heaviness. Now, if emotional heaviness can disrupt your light body, made of light, then can physical heaviness weigh down your light body? Well, of course it can. If I just said to you and you agree that emotions carry weight, heavy-hearted, light-hearted, lighten up, don't be such a damper. If emotional frequencies can carry weight, and we talk about it in terms of weight, then can a physical object make your light body denser? Yes, it can. Let's look at this, and I've showed it to you before, but I'm just going to bring this to an example. This is an animal slaughter kill counter. So basically it takes all of it counts for all of the animals that were killed for our uses last year in, say, 2022, and it divides it by the seconds, and it can show you how many animals are being killed every minute, every second, based on last year's numbers. So all they do is they run this counter until it reaches within a year. When this counter has been 1 year, then we will get an actual good number, good estimation of how many animals we killed in that year. So it's been a minute and already 1.8 million wild fish have been caught. 80,000 fish have been farmed. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen an animal play, seen an animal be afraid, or seen an animal get hurt. But they feel when cows get their babies ripped away from them in the dairy industry, that mother cow is heard bellowing out for months, for weeks, at least weeks, for her child back. And they say that it sounds, I've heard it, it sounds like a woman crying. And that is an emotional weight that you don't want no part of. I mean, I mean, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? That is a very heavy weight. To have a child, a young offspring, taken away from you before you're ready for that, against the will of both offspring and parent, that is like kidnapping. And that type of karma, that type of emotional weight, is going to make these lines of light, it's going to make them heavy, very heavy. And it's going to make it to the point where these light beams weigh so much emotionally that it is going to be locked in and solidifying these anchor points. These anchor points, these circles around the Merkaba. See the on the corners of the pyramids here, you have these circles. These circles are realms. They're anchors. They're vortexes, really. They're vortexes of emotion and of experience, of karma. And the deeper you, the more you do something, the deeper and deeper, the more solid these anchor points get. Now these anchor points are also fluid. Okay, they're fluid. They can change. They can be manipulated based on what type of experiences and thoughts you're having, and what type of light is being beamed into them. See these lines of the Merkaba, of the triangle, the pyramids, feeding into these centers. These centers also at the same time broadcast outward whatever's being fed into it. So if we are eating heavily processed foods, unrecognizable by the body, it is going to carry more weight. Just like these lines of these light lines, these beams of light, they carry an emotional weight. And they feed into the anchors of your Merkaba, meaning your next life, you will have those anchors, and you're going to be having new experiences coming in, a new set of parents, a new set of siblings, a new set of grandparents, a new school, new country possibly. But these anchor points will energetically develop first, and then the experiences, the lines that feed into them will be new. A new family, new country, new food. And that is a chance to sculpt and mold these spheres, these vortexes of experience and trauma and past decisions. So when I say, or when I ask, can your decisions in life, your physical decisions, affect your light body in a negative way? This is one way it's done. Okay, by feeding heavy emotions in. And the emotions, just like they're trapped into these spheres, just as they're trapped into these spheres in your Merkaba, these emotions can also get trapped into animals' flesh. They get trapped into your flesh, right? They get trapped into your flesh. There is proof that people get transplants from other people, right? So like a liver transplant, a kidney transplant, and these transplant patients who have never liked Mexican food and tacos get an organ transplant from a Mexican donor, and suddenly they like tacos and burritos and other Mexican dishes, which are incredibly tasty. That is because the resonances, the experiences, the DNA that is caught up in these spheres here are now emanating outward in this new patient, this new kidney recipient, and it is altering his lines. See these lines behind the Merkaba, these lines of light in the ferrocell? His lines are now intersecting, sexing with her lines, and now her lines are being fed back to her processors, her anchor points, and molding it and sculpting it to, with a notion of, yes, Mexican food is good. I like Mexican food. I like their music now. I'm more involved in Cinco de Mayo, and I have more of a connection with Cinco de Mayo, which is today. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, yo. We're gonna get it cracking today with the knowledge. Okay? So if it can happen with a human kidney, a Mexican person, a person of another race and culture, goes into another person that doesn't identify or doesn't even like their food, can now be brought into her body. His kidney is brought into her body, and now she starts to like Mexican food, cuisine, probably music as well. Now we are seeing that having an animal's flesh can also have huge effects on our Merkaba anchors, with their traumatic experience of being raised and seeing other things slaughtered in front of its eyes, having its young taken away from you, having its mother ripped away from it, being starved, being castrated, having your testicles removed, having your beak burnt off like they do with chickens, being a male chick in the chicken industry, because male chicks can't lay eggs, so male chickens are sent down a big grinder and they're grinded up into what you would call your chicken nuggets and other things, dog food. And that trauma is being stored in the flesh, in the foods, and it is now going into us by way of grilling up a steak, having a hot dog, eating the scallops and the lobsters. You know, from the trauma from being caught, swept out of the bottom of the safe ocean. They're in the net, now they're exposed to air, now they're being kept on ice, being transported in a box, lifted out in a warm kitchen, only to be boiled alive. These traumatic experiences affect our Merkaba anchor points. And that is why I always say it is impossible to be as spiritual when you're eating flesh. Now we're gonna have to continue this discussion. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this, because we can get really deep into this. But I just wanted to start with this part 1 of the letting in the light. When these light vortexes, when these vortex lines intersect each other, they become brighter, right? You can see that they become brighter, like up here, down here, they become brighter. Just like if you had a net and you were tying up all of these intersecting points on the net to make it strong, then you have a big bulky knot where they intersect, and then a thin string or a rope, and then a bulky knot, and then the string of the rope, and then a bulky knot. These knots that are carrying the emotional signature, they are also, as you make the knot, you're also creating shadow, okay? Because you had the rope, which is exposed to the light, and you make a shadow, and now look, you've created something that you created a vicinity, a realm that can now hold weight, that can now hold emotion. And remember, emotional can be weight or dark. Oh, that was dark. When you say something morbid and you're described as a negative person. He's a really dark person, a dark character. It's creating a shade. But the more we let the light in, then the less shadow we have. So how do we let the light in? Well, first, we have to be positive. We have to make people feel good when we're around them. We have to eat better. We have to think better. Because the reason why we're not letting the light in the most out of all the emotional and whatever, the most significant thing is our colon. Okay? Our colon. The colon is the key to the body. Inside of the colon is supposed to be nice and bright pink. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to see the veins on the wall of your colon. You're supposed to be able to see the muscle contractions and the ridges of your colon, which is your large intestine. Your colon is supposed to look nice and open and pink like this. See how this looks like the inside of a whale or a fish? You're supposed to have those ridges. And if those ridges get blocked off, then you start having diseases, inflammation, there's impacted colons, and they create shadow. The poop, the doo-doo that is collected on the side of your colon. Sorry, y'all. Sorry for the graphic imagery. Brace yourself, okay? But let's be adults here. If you can look at the screen, look at the screen. If you can just imagine what I'm saying without having to look, then I recommend that. But this is what a dirty colon looked like with fecal impact, okay? We're seeing here this, obviously, poop that is creating shadows on the cellular lining of your colon, okay? This mucus is creating shadows. It is giving a place for dark beings like parasites to hide, like under a rock. Like how you lift up a rock and you see all the insects that don't like to be in the light and they're scurrying around when you lift up that rock. That's exactly what it is. And when you let the light in, you are experiencing more health. So when you have a light body, it is because you have a light weighing body. Okay? A lot of people have 5, 10, 15 pounds in their colon that have been there for years and years, just breaking down and decaying and creating shadow and shade for parasites to grow. Okay? Parasites and microbials that are anaerobic, that aren't healthy for us, they love darkness, and they like hiding out in eroding places that are festering, and the bacteria can just wreak havoc. So we're supposed to be able to see through ourselves. We're supposed to be translucent, light bodies, but now we have manifested into a physical form. And now our light bodies are creating shadows. You see this brown bit here in the colon that's shit, is feces. That is more solid, and it is creating more shadows. So the light can't penetrate the skin, the fat, the bones, into the colon, into the interstitium, into the cells. And the cells can't receive any light. Because remember, light can penetrate through our cells. Remember, atoms are mostly empty space. Our cells are mostly empty space. Molecules are mostly empty space. So if we're mostly empty, we're mostly hollow beings, then the light is supposed to be passing through, being filtered through our vortexes that we shape, like right here. And depending on the shape of that vortex, it's how the sun's light is going to be filtered into our body, taking different directions and different paths, different angles. Like when Thoth said in the Emerald Tablets, Tahuti, Hermes Trismegistus, in the Emerald Tablets, apparently wrote different angles and talking about the different angles he did travel into the halls of Amenti. This is what he meant. All of these angles that he had to work through, karma, and up and down and to the side, and zigzagging through all of these patterns of lights to make it down into the hall of Amenti. That is very important, because the way your body is structured and filtering light is what instructs the light on how to be shaped on the way out. Okay, so if we are reinforcing and sculpting these anchor points of light here that we have at the edges of the Merkaba, the spheres, the vortexes here, for hate and destruction, that's what we're going to get out. And if we are keeping our colons impacted and thick with mucus, then we are going to be shaping how we act and treat others and what we experience next lifetime. So not only does the food that we eat shape these, but it's the food that we're not cleansing that is staying in us, rotting in us, creating shade, making us shady individuals, shady people. Oh yeah, that person was shady. He was shady. Why? Because of the darkness. He was full of shit. Yeah, I tried. He was an asshole. He was talking my ass off and he was full of shit. He was a shady person. He's just always full of shit. He's shady. He's full. His colon is full of shit. And he is a shady individual. Alright, y'all? Alright, y'all. We're going to have to schedule a part 2 for this. So look out for that on Monday morning. Monday morning we're coming back and we are going in further depths of why the light bodies can affect us and we can affect the light bodies, and how we affect it through digestion of what we listen to, what we think about. So remember, say this: every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Alright, y'all? Alright, y'all. It's been a blessing to talk to you guys. Let's definitely continue this Monday morning. That's where you can catch me for part 2 of the light body, healthy light bodies. Let the light in. Alright, y'all. If you got a grudge, get over it. It's only affecting you. If someone's doing something to you, get them out of your life. If you can make amends, make amends. Nothing is more important than relationships that we form. Alright, y'all. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And I will see y'all for part 2 on Monday morning, 9 a.m. Alright? Peace.